I am messing with the buttons. Messing with the buttons a little bit. I'm not sure if my microphone will work correctly today, because I'll be fixing this in the future, but for today I'm gonna change how it's looking at me, the microphone. So we'll figure things out. And we have people in chat right now. Youth Baggett, welcome to the stream. How's it going? And Harry as well, welcome on in. Do you know where this music is from? You know where this music is from, of course you do. Mike works great. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Let's go live. Let's click on the button that makes this thing go live. I think everything is ready. Let me just make sure that I have this open. I do have this open. We will take care of that in a little bit. And a button click. Welcome to the stream. The heck am I doing today? What am I doing today? Yes, so microphone is a little bit to the side. And that's how I see my volume. Because otherwise, if I don't scroll down, I don't see my volume. So, I want to write a thing. I want to draw a thing. And I want to think of a thing. I want to... where is my thing? There's my thing. My draft. Okay, that doesn't matter for right now. I do need to create a character. We have a character already. It's already created. The problem isn't so much the class of the character, but all that involves playing the character. So what's happening? What's that thing over there on the screen? That is Waterdeep Dragon Heist. That's a Dragon in Dungeons module that I will be playing together with Keith Ballard, Andrew from the Set Games, Effie from, I think he has a channel, I'm not really sure. He's going to be the Dungeon Master, as well as Marty, and I'm not sure if Marty has a channel. I will need to look into that, to share the links when that happens, because we will be doing a tabletop role-playing session starting next Saturday. That is this campaign over here. So I don't know. I don't know much. This is in the Forgotten Realms setting, so I do know a little bit about the setting because, of course, I played Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale and Neverwinter Nights, all firsts and seconds. Actually, I didn't finish Icewind Dale either, one of those, but I did finish all the other ones, and so I do know the things. I do know the setting, but I want to create a character that's weird. And my character is gonna be weird. You seem like a bard to me. Me? I'm a bard. I'm not sure if that would be my class. I will tell you what my class is. So we're gonna be doing some drawing today. That's gonna be probably the bulk of. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be the bulk or not of the stream, because I want to talk about who my character is gonna be. Peridin is the name over here of our character. We can open the character and let's not use the pen for this. And you can see, or maybe you can't, who I am. I'm gonna be playing Furniture Mancer. Furniture Mancer. I'm gonna be playing. There are some spells that kind of do that, actually. Wait. Who made tables grow in size and then suffocated people inside a room because the tables grew in size? I know that story. Anyway, I am playing a ranger. We're starting level 1 because this module is level 1 through 5. I don't know how big it is in terms of playtime. I imagine it's going to be about 5 or 6 sessions, and then we're gonna switch over to the second module, which is level 5 through 15 or level 5 through 20. I'm not really sure, and that one is a bit bigger. So I'm playing a ranger, a dwarf, a lawful evil mountain dwarf with a specific backstory, and specifically a lawful evil dwarf. It's already pretty challenging. It's not really super challenging, but it is, it's a weird thing already. It's a ranger, which is a weird thing already, but the big challenge that we're doing here, I've already rolled all the things. We basically have the character created already, and I have all, like, my sort of draft, personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws sort of draft. We're going to look into that in a little bit, but basically everything is done already. The one thing that's set in stone is that I'm a master ranger, in the sense that this is really cool, actually, because at level 1 you get things like, for example, natural explorer, which makes you ignore difficult terrain, including when you're traveling with your team, which is fantastic. And also it allows you to, I think it's this one, advantage in initiative, your first turn. No, it's not this one. Wanderer? Yeah, Wanderer is a really interesting one because I can find food for everybody, which is fantastic. And there's also another thing that allows me to always find food as long as the land allows it, which is really cool. And I don't know where it is, but that's at level 1, and so that's really good to roleplay, and I can roleplay a master, so I'm very good at it. I'm just not necessarily very good at other things, although I'm not gonna be too shabby, I don't think. But that's gonna be that. What is really gonna be the challenge? He lost all his furniture. Now he wants vengeance. I have a story already. So basically, the idea, we're gonna write this and we're gonna sort of word this a little bit better to make it easy to understand and easy to. Kvarg, welcome to the stream. Good evening. Welcome on in. So we're gonna be rewriting this to make it easy to understand, read at a glance, and also to make it more interesting and not redundant, because a lot of this is redundant because it's based off of the descriptions of certain backgrounds, because my background is an outlander. So what happened to my dwarf basically is he was expelled from his clan, and he lives off the land alone for most of his life. Now his age, and we do have no, that's not it. It's over here. His age, he's 100. No, that's his weight. He's 250 years old, which is pretty old for a dwarf. But I'm not like he's not. A dwarf usually lives 350, 400 years. I think that's the normal age span. So he's pretty old. He's pretty wise, and in fact, rangers tend to have wisdom. So I can add a little bit of that. Just he's learned off the land. But the fact that he's lawful evil really is gonna make or break his character. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. I hope you're doing well as well. Yeah, that's the holidays were nice. Just write a short description to get the point across, to have a full backstory, and then another sheet is usually how I do it. That is basically what I want to do. But the problem is really nailing down the character that I'm going to be playing, because it is a very challenging thing to play an evil character in a party of generally good people. So what I thought for my character, and the reason why I originally, like, this was like more than a week ago when I picked what kind of character I was gonna be playing. The reason why I want to play a lawful evil character is because I want to subvert the lawful chaotic what? I want to subvert the lawful chaotic and good and evil tropes. Because what I want to do, and I'll explain to you right now, and that's why I'm launching this. And this is kind of fun. Kind of fun. Hopefully it is fun. We have a thing. Okay. Isn't he afraid that that he'll fall off the earth? Oh no, fall up the earth. Wasn't that how the trope goes? By the way, Peregrine doesn't sound very dwarven. That is an interesting question. It is dwarvenish in Faerun though. I'm glad to hear it, Kvarg. It is dwarvenish. So basically, dwarves have a lot of them have names out of stone, or made like derived from names of stones and precious gems and whatnot. And peridot is a precious stone. And in and Torin is a usual ending for dwarven names. I have the handbook over here on my second screen. I can't show it to you because it's copyrighted, but I can read to you some of the names if I remember which page it is. It's over here. Some of the usual names that dwarves have. And, for example, for male names, Adric, Alberic, that's suddenly become a lot very noisy. Thorin is a name, Thoradin, Taklin, those are dwarven names suggested in the Dungeons & Dragons Player's Handbook. And so I just sort of mashed those together. But the interesting thing is, his name, that's not his real name, because he was exiled. So he lost his dwarven given name, so he had to pick a name for himself. And just picked Peridin, because he doesn't remember anymore. Let's go with that. He doesn't remember anymore. Bard, I'm playing a range, Jung. Welcome to the stream. So, what is the big challenge here? The big challenge is this. Let's think of the alignments. And I have a video on YouTube if you want to hear me ramble about many things. Well, if you want to, you have all my Let's Plays. I ramble about all the things. But on YouTube, I have a video about my problem with the alignment system. Now, they sort of changed some things somewhat in the alignment system. And since I made that video, I've heard the best take on what lawful, neutral, and chaotic, as well as good, neutral, and evil means. And I have this thing over here. It's not tic-tac-toe. It's because we have the good alignments, right? And we have the evil. Alignments down here. And then we have the lawful. And then we have the chaotic. Right? This is pretty straightforward. And understanding this, the alignments like this, like these sort of two walls that are faced against each other, and vice versa, or right, vertically and horizontally, I think is the easiest one for anybody who doesn't know about this to understand. However, my biggest problem with this is that it locks you into certain... How should I put this? Having an understanding of a character, like, for example, a vengeful... I don't know, a vengeful vampire that just goes around killing everybody until they finally kill whoever turned them into a vampire. Let's put it like that. I think there's... Isn't there a storyline like this in Pathfinder Kingmaker? Chaotic, yeah. Isn't that chaotic? Isn't that the name of the chaotic? Love your work with the mouse. With the mouse? Which mouse? Wait, you mean this? No, I have a pen. I have a pen. It looks like it locks you into certain archetypes a little bit. So what my problem is this: imagine you're a vampire looking for vengeance, or you're a chaotic evil vampire looking for vengeance and murdering everybody, and until you like your main objective, your character, what your character really wants is to find and murder the person who turned you into a vampire. So this is a very straightforward chaotic evil character, just thought up right now. It's very plainly, to other people, it's very plainly evil, and you're going around murdering people, so you are chaotic. It's gonna be a tricky thing to deal with you if you are in the party, because you're not gonna give a damn about a lot of people. But you could have basically the same actions, and so basically the same evil created, the murder of innocents and the ultimate revenge. You could have that seen in a different light if the vampire, for example, I don't know, knew that the person who turned him into a vampire was a really bad person, and all of a sudden, instead of being evil, you're sort of nudging towards the neutral without actually changing your actions at all. Like through the course of a playthrough, it's gonna be the same actions. It's just gonna be your attitude is gonna change, and that sort of leeway, that sort of really like loose definitions of what certain alignments are, is what sort of bothers me the most about the system. So what I want to do with my character, with Peridin, is I want to make a lawful evil character that would actually or could actually. This is my intention. We're gonna think about it today. I worked on this, so I can talk through it, and we can have some feedback. But my intention is for this character to actually being that other side of the spectrum, as it were. Because my idea is to work with a team, and I want to work with a team. So my actions will actually be chaotic good, or tend to be chaotic good. At least that's the hope. It's going to be very difficult, but it's the hope. But my character will be lawful evil. So I will roleplay lawful evil, but my actions, and I want to create a paradigm for my character where my actions can be lawful chaotic good. So here's the conundrum, and I will get to that in a little bit. A chaotic evil vampire selling furniture, but all the furniture that was going to be sold was burned. That sounds pretty evil. I mean, at least chaotic. I don't know if it's evil. People would see, oh, it's a burned furniture. They wouldn't buy it unless it was like secretly burned, because you can cast some illusions. There's a spell. There's a cantrip, I think, that you can cast an illusion that will last for like 10 minutes or something. So you just sell, oh, look at this furniture, that's good. And then people brought it home and like, oh, it's all burned. That's evil. So, I will be looking at my character. What my character likes, what my character dislikes. So, let me remove this over here. So, pet it in. Dwarf, Ranger, Lawful, Evil. And this is tricky. And I've been racking my brain over this, and I wanted to do this live because talking it through is better. I've been doing it as well, talking it through, and so it's tricky. So do away with the autocorrect, please. How do we do that? Can I do that? No, I cannot. I mean, maybe I can. I just don't know where it is. It doesn't matter. We're good. So we have likes, we have dislikes, and I want these because it's really easy for me to get myself into a character if I just think of certain sort of, it's tropey, but sort of think where put myself in mind space of likes and dislikes, because that's usually what characters are at the end of the day. It's just sort of comments. You comment on things with a certain perspective, or comment on the things that you like or dislike. So then we have wants, the haves, and the losts, and that's more in a sort of a backstory style thing than anything else. And so let's see. No bad mouthing. I can't. The Swedish police is here. An evil character selling furniture. If IKEA could cast the illusion on their goods, they would. They sort of do. That's what you do when you go around and explore their. That's the soundtrack, and explore their selling thing. Just checking in to show my support, and I'm off to bed. See you later, Kvark. Thank you for showing up, and have a good night. So, let's think about this. My character. Let's go back to. Let's just minimize. I don't know which window it is. I can minimize. I can work on that. Let's go back over here because we have. I'm gonna read you the personality traits. I'm gonna read you the ideals, bonds, and flaws. But let's start with the bio over here. So Paradin grew up in the wilds, far from dwarven civilization and the comfort of town and technology. He has witnessed the migration of herds larger than forests, survived weather more extreme than any city dweller could comprehend, and enjoyed the solitude of being the only thinking creature for miles in any direction. The wilds are in his blood, having long replaced the longing for the underground cities of his childhood. Even in places where he doesn't know the specific features of terrain, he knows the ways of the wild. He was cast out of his clan, accused of plotting to kill his own father. He refused to confess. No, so never confessed, but he was exiled. And I can make up something on the spot if I'm ever asked about this. He's a master of navigating the natural world. So this is more about his current state of mind, but it doesn't really tell me much. This sort of, what is this? Character backstory. This character backstory doesn't tell us much about his... Like, this is a backstory. He's not going to live in the wild. It's not going to be common. That's really boring if I would make a character where, like, we go to a tavern and my character would go like, I really like trees. And somebody asked me, do you want wine? And I'm like, I really like like wild berries, and it's just everything around this backstory. It would be really boring. So what I want to do is I want to create, that's why I'm here, I want to create a, plot twist is father burned the furniture. Prusha, welcome to the stream. Current RPG, did he plot his father's death? Well, we don't know, do we? He was accused of it, of plotting his father's death, but he never confessed to it, so we don't know that. Neither do I, to be honest, because I guess we'll find out, because it very much depends on what we decide on right now, and about his priorities and how he sees the world. And that's what I was gonna say. It's about how a character sees the world. So I want to incorporate a lot of my own thoughts, maybe what I have thought during life, and maybe don't think anymore, because we are playing a lawful evil character after all. Even though we are trying to make chaotic good actions with this lawful evil character. So we'll see what happens, but I do want to incorporate certain aspects of me, just to make it a little bit easier for me to come up with arguments on the spot, to sort of defend things more aggressively if I need to defend things, or choices that we need to make, or whatever happens. But yeah, that's basically the reason. So, in our personality traits, this is what really gets me, though. I wrote all of this. I wrote the personality traits and the ideals and all this sort of stuff, and based off of the backgrounds that I have in the classes and whatnot. And it doesn't give me the character, so that's why I want to write. Let's look at it. Personality traits. I value things that have a place in the natural world. I place no stock in wealthy or well-mannered folk. Money and manners won't save you from a hungry bear. And ideals, I don't know why I said but I'm still working on the accent. It's gonna be tricky. I'm so sorry. I hope it's not too terrible. Possessive, the ideals, that's the ideal. Possessive, and I think I can create a character just from that alone, where, like, it's a very lawful evil thing, isn't it? The ideal of possessiveness. We're only worth the things we carry with us, or something like. It's not even like it's a specific type of possessiveness, which is really interesting. Everything else is up for grabs. So that is, like, even that just sounds like a little bit chaotic as well. Everything else is up for grabs. Like, but that's the problem. That's the problem with the binary, or the binary between lawful and chaotic. It's not a binary, actually. It's a spectrum, but still. That's the problem with it. It's just anything can be anything if you look at it in a different way. That's the challenge. This is the challenge. I will bring terrible wrath. This is the bond. I will bring terrible wrath on the hypocrites who cast me out of my homeland. And the word hypocrites there is a very, very good anchor point for me to create a character on, because it tells more about my character, what he considers hypocritical of other people, than it does tell about the hypocrites that he's accusing. I remember every insult I've received and nurse a silent resentment toward anyone who's ever wronged me. I can't ever really trust anyone. And those are the flaws. And the last one is very important. I can't ever really trust anyone. Narayan, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Is he scientific-based logic-wise? Oh no. This is all philosophy. This is all very. There's no science in well, there is actually in Dungeons and Dragons. You don't need to have that though. But no, this is all philosophical. We're talking like more political than anything else. This is all. We're gonna create a political being, as it were, because he's gonna have an outlook on the world. He's gonna be judgmental of people. So it's all gonna be. Terrible Scottish accent. That's right, Harry. I'm so sorry. Scottish will sue you for crimes against accent. It's a dwarven accent. The accent of a dwarf who grew up in his for 50 years in his land, and then spent the next 200 years out in the wild by himself. So that's the accent that I'm going with. I have a lot of excuses to not have a proper accent. We'll play this character somewhere. Yes, I will be doing, Narian asks, I will be doing a let's play, or not a let's play, a playthrough on every Saturday, basically at this hour, more or less at this hour, starting at this hour, on YouTube. So I will be streaming on YouTube, I think. We'll see how it goes. The videos will be going up anyway, and yeah, so... Old dwarfs are Scottish. It's more stereotypical than anything else. The argument, the description languages. Let me see if I can find the languages part over here in the longing memory, longing grudges. Where are the... I cannot find the... Yeah. At a glance, I can find the specific text. There's a specific text in the manual that says about what exactly a dwarf sounds like. Dwarves and lands are artisans. Chief... Oh, it's up here. Okay. You might be here. Might be able to hear people on the background singing. They're just going about. It's January, so they sing. Yeah, I can find the text, but they do specify specifically the R's and the ku and the ru sounds. They're very the language of the dwarves, very inspired in Tolkien's language of the dwarves, which in turn is very inspired in. I actually don't know what it is inspired by. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Aramaic or something like that. The dwarves have very like Tolkien was very derivative himself, so this is the derivation of the derivation. Make the dwarf your own. So he is lawful, and the dwarven government screwed him over. So he's pro laws. That's what's the challenging thing, and has to mean the government was corrupt. A dwarf dragon heist bad accent sounds like the dwarf band from The Witcher. That's the soundtrack that we're playing right now. Okay, so here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about law, and I'll give you the take here that I heard since I made the YouTube. No. Come back. Dang it. How did I don't know how I click on things. I don't know how I click on things. How did I click that? Man. Anyway, the point is, since I made the video on YouTube where I ramble about this thing, I have heard a take on what chaotic and evil and good means. And that's what's really going to screw me up. Lawful... The divergence here between lawful and chaotic, this thing over here, according to some people, is the distinction between people who really value systems in society, that'd be lawful. So having a really ordered, structured, and predictable way to society. Whereas chaotic is somebody who doesn't like that. Specifically doesn't like that, and so values whatever else, because it could be personal freedom, but then this is my take, a little bit of my take. It could also be the personal freedom of others. And you could be altruistic, and, which sort of plays a little bit more with the good and evil. But that's the thing. Having an understanding of lawful and chaotic as more of a matter of how much you respect or want systems in your society, I think makes things a lot easier. Because it works for everything else that's traditionally associated with lawful and chaotic, but it also works on new things, on new paradigms. And when I heard this, I was like, man, this is actually... Does this fix my problems with it? No, it doesn't fix my problems with the lawful and evil and all this, with this system. And the reason for that is more because people just sort of go with whatever they have, and I don't like that as much. And for me rambling about this, look into my Let's Play of Pathfinder Kingmaker, where I complain about all the things. He lost his left eye escaping from the... no, he can't. He's good at perception. He must be good at perception. I can't have him not have an eye. The DM is gonna murder me. Escaping from the execution, imprisonment, capture. No, he was actually exiled. That's the thing. There's some things that I need to take shortcuts on, and that's one shortcut is when the law tells him to do a thing, he does it. But probably not when the law doesn't. So if he's like condemned to jail, he'll go to jail. It's not that he stays there, but that's another thing. We'll get to that when we get. You mean an evil lawful is a torturer or a hangman? Depends. If torture is illegal, then it wouldn't be lawful, right? I would say an evil lawful would be more, or a typological evil lawful would be more somebody who defends torture as part of law. And when you start thinking about that sort of stuff, it becomes a lot less about fantasy. Immediately the word evil starts assuming a lot more immediate meanings, and that's where I was gonna go next. The difference then between good and evil, and this is the take that I heard, was more about compassion and altruism in the good side, and the lack of it in the evil side. So it's a different way of looking at it, because I feel that it makes it in a very grounded terms. You can be a revolutionary and be lawful, because you're trying to make a revolution on the system that exists to install, if you're that kind of revolutionary, obviously, to establish a new order, a new specific type of system. Whereas, for example, a hermit would necessarily be more chaotic in nature, because it doesn't trust as much in those systems. But you could also have a lawful hermit, I suppose, even under those understandings. The difference then between good and evil would become more, maybe an hermit would be evil, or would allow himself to be a little bit more evil because he wouldn't care as much about other people. So you can see why I say this, that it's so based on your understanding of yourself, and I want to create a character that's based on that. Well, speaking about Pathfinder, lawful evil could also be a bandit lord that became a ruler of a small part of land, and he's still a bandit, but goes to court to represent and preserve the freedom of his people. Why is that not a lawful... I ask you, Narian, why is that not a lawful good person? That bandit that you say. You're just calling him a bandit. You're just making a judgment. You don't like him, but that's the thing. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean they're evil. And the traditional way of looking at things really entices that. Really, like, you think of a person who you don't like, you're gonna act like them if you want to be evil in that setting. And why does that bandit lord, you're literally, like, your description could fit a lawful evil character, but it also could fit a lawful good character. Let's look at it. Speaking about Pathfinder, lawful evil could also be a bandit lord. So let's take the bandit out, because that just means literally without leeway of the law. So a lord that became the ruler of a small part of the land, and let's take the bandit part out, but goes to the court to represent and preserve the freedom of his people. Where in this is the evil? The evil would be in the bandit, but the banditry is only not, like, if you live in a war, if it's only you are not the law, it's somebody else is the law. And a ruler can also do banditry, but it can't. A ruler cannot do banditry because the ruler is the law. You know what I mean? So it's that's that sort of nuanced understanding of what constitutes lawfulness and lawlessness is the hardest part, I feel. From my experience, Colonel almost always focus on mind, charismatic, silver-tongued characters. I can't do that in welcome to the stream, by the way, Philippe. I can't do that in tabletop because I don't have somebody else to write my lines for me, so I can't. I'm not gonna be very silver-tongued. I can't be silver-tongued. I'm very bad at everything. Lawful isn't like actually about the actual law rights. Exactly, Rishab. Welcome to the stream, by the way. It's exactly that. It's more about following your own code. That's what I was thinking. I think it's more about wanting to establish systems that people can follow. Because you can be chaotic and follow your own code. Especially, imagine the traditional chaotic good character just goes around murdering all evil and not caring for the law. That's a very traditional way of looking at it. But you can also look at it and say, well, it's just a neutral good or a lawful, even you can look at it as a lawful evil. Because it's all about perspective. So let's go back to our character and start. And going for the anti-hero, I think I am. I have a word for it, though, where I have a specific center point that I can focus on when I'm role-playing. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Rishab. I have a specific center point for my character that I can focus on when I'm trying to role-play. because he robs people passing his lands. That's a good one. But he calls it taxes, Nayrayan. It's taxes. He doesn't rob them. He's taxing them. It's his lands. Keeps his people in poverty. Oh, he's just a conservative. Let's not go there. Sometimes hangs them to... No, my point is that you need to... When I ask you, like... My point isn't that... I'm not saying that he's not evil. I'm saying that your description, on the face of it, sounds like it's an evil person. But if you start analyzing your initial description, you start to see that there's a lot of stuff there that you need to really flesh out to really prove that somebody is evil. Because a lot of our descriptions as humans and just as normal people, a lot of our descriptions are so opinionated. And if we're trying to like, you know what I mean? It's just sort of like you're specifically saying, you know, assault, armed robbery, or just flailing people, or just he's a terrible person and just sets fire to people and whatever, just awful. Yeah, but that wasn't part of the initial description, which is it's that sort of, you need to flesh out a lot of things, is what I mean to say. You should have the ability to make characters get minus intelligence from rambling, called Chaotic Ramble. I want to ask the DM about that, actually. Oh, I could try. No, but I can't. That would be funny. That'd be funny to have a character that would ramble. I might be able to get that in when we're resting. Chaotic Ramble spends the first hour of resting rambling about things. An interesting idea. We're gonna see where that goes. I'm gonna talk to the DM. Maybe not immediately, but as I level up, I might be able to get some of that stuff. No, actually, a Lord of Lords were bandits of warmongers. It's historical almost. For example, yeah, there's a lot of historical examples of people that were just bandits. Like Portugal, my country, was bandits. That was basically, yeah, it's basically what it was. And they were kings. It's just they became kings and off he goes. Yeah, Portugal's made. It's good. It's more or less like that. My favorite is Goetz, the lord with a mechanical arm that inspired Guts from Berserk. He promised so many times he wouldn't rob people or be a mercenary. Oh, that's interesting. What's the definition of evil then? My definition? Oh. Well, I don't know. Evil is a very dehumanizing term. To think of evil, like in a tradition, non-role-playing way, to think of somebody that is evil, you're inherently taking away their humanity, in the sense that, you know, they are evil. They don't do evil things. They are evil. It's like, there's a word for it. Existentialist? Fundamental? I believe it's existentialist. I'm not really sure. Absolute? There's a word for it. There's a word for that sort of thing. For somebody to be evil, I think it's always about the judgment. And I think that's always going to be that. No matter how much I think other people should think like I do, right? Like when I say this person is evil, and I explain to you in not necessarily just, because I don't like them. It's just in explicit terms I tell you, this person is evil. Because they did this, tortured and slayed and all this sort of stuff. Somebody else is going to have a different opinion, and they're going to hear me out, and they're saying, well, I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're evil. I think they're good because they did this and did this. So it's always so much about your own attitude. That's the reason why I want to twist the system with my character. So a character is, say, an evil person, like whatever villain there is, to find a child on the street. What kind of evil would he be? He finds a child on the street, kills the child. Yeah. Could you give some examples for the situation which would be classic lawful evil, or like situations which your character would do? I think yes. I think that somebody who just comes up on a child on the street and kills them is evil, and there's examples of people like that. Real life people who are alive right now, who people say that are heroes. And I'm sure you can think of those. Hopefully you can. Then if you don't, well, there's news about that. People just go up to children on the street and kill them. Or worse, stalk them and kill them after stalking them for a little while. And yeah, those people are evil, but they did an evil thing. They're still people. Calling them evil just like that, that's what I meant. It's dehumanizing. They did an evil thing, and they think evil things, for sure, I'm sure. But that's what comes first, I think. When we're talking immediate and just sort of human things, we need to think of they did an evil thing and they think evil things, rather than they're just fundamentally evil, because you're going to always think they're irredeemable. Which I think is an important thing to remember, that people can be redeemed, and especially for my character. And let's get on to it. No killing children on the street. Killing children on the street is chaotic only, you say. Well, the person who I was thinking of, in specific, was a police officer. So, yeah, it's pretty chaotic, but it's also very lawful. And let's remember that slavery was lawful. And there's, I don't know if our setting actually has slavery. I think it does in certain areas. It's also lawful. So, yeah. And let's remember games like Planescape Torment, where there's the Batari, I think. They're the devils from the plane of lawful evilness, because that's how it works in the setting. There's planes of each alignment. And they are specifically devils that sort of contract people's souls. They like get you to sign a contract so you lose your soul to the Blood War, which is like this whole thing. So they are very much about that contract and that sort of stuff. They're still evil. So they will do evil things. Maybe not necessarily kill a random person on the street, but they will steal their soul. Anyone got a sweet artwork for Berserker Armor Edition 5 edition? Tried googling it, but I couldn't find any of that. If you want to post links, you can if you have anything. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Devil Hunter. If you want to post links, feel free to do it, and I think I'll have to approve them, but don't worry about it. I got my mouse. Okay, so let's focus on one word about my character. Now that we talked about my own interpretation of what lawful and evil and good could be, both in real world as well as in the tabletop setting. Self-destructive. Self-destructive is a very easy way for, I think, well, I said not necessarily the easiest way, but I think it is a possible way to create any character whatsoever in anywhere of this thing that will act. Oh, it doesn't even. Ooh, that's cool. That's a Berserker armor, is it? That's cool. So if you have like a self-destructive character, you can make them act against their own principles, because that's sort of what self-destructiveness is. Krishko, thank you for the subscription. Thank you very much. You're very generous. Welcome to the stream as well. I don't think I saw you comment before, and although you did follow last week, so thank you very much. Welcome on in, and enjoy the emoticons, the 2 emoticons or emojis. What are they called? And of course, you also shared some icons as well. Nice. Thank you very much. Lawful is the opposite of self-destructive. Are you sure? That's an interesting question that Narayan poses. Is lawful the opposite of self-destructive? I don't think so. Maybe I'm not explaining the proper word. Imagine. Let's go for the most lawful paragon of knightlyhood ever, whatever, and they're defending their lord or whatever. It's a paladin. Just they have a lord. They have a castle. They're defending their lord, and their lord is sort of the bad person, but they swore an oath. They must abide by the oath, and they know they're gonna go down with the lord. That's self-destructiveness. But that also is that sort of conflict and just sort of ignoring a conflict that I kind of want to hang on to for my character. And specifically, He has to have his own code to follow. Chaotic is self-destruction. So maybe that's not the word. Alpha's opposite would be high authority, if you ask me. High authority, that's an interesting one. Yeah, it's sort of... There's sort of a little bit of that. I think that's where I'm trying to go with a character who's not so full of himself. You know what I mean? Lawful, as in the sense of having a way that he sees the world in a specific way, and that specific way is gonna be the other thing, the good and the evil, and that's where I want to make my character evil. It's the way he sees the world. I want his way of seeing the world to be dehumanizing. I want him to be brutalistic. Brutalism is an architectural style. I want his character to be dehumanizing, to be cold and cruel in the way he understands the plight of other people, or just the value of other people in specific. Like if you look at what I posted over here. We're only worth the things we carry with us. Everything else is up for grabs. A very materialistic way of looking at things, but also specifically it's a very succinct and just sort of in a nutshell. You know what I mean? So he has his own way of looking at the world, and that's where I want to make him evil. But at the same time, I want him to not be full of himself, and that's where maybe the lawfulness comes at, and I want to play with that. I want to try to create a character that you could understand as lawful evil, and then do the actions of a chaotic good character. If somebody asks, "Hey, I need help," and I'm gonna say, "Yes, we'll help you." You know what I mean? That's my goal. I mean, you found the image that would be... Oh, there's a Path of Exile portraits? Pillars of Eternity portraits. Oh, these ones. Oh no! I need to activate some things for me. Squarespace, why do you doom me? Yeah. I have a portrait already. We're gonna maybe draw that later. Can you show us a picture of your character might look like? Yes. Absolutely. I have a little sketch. With a portrait from Gun Gear... What's the name? It's another tabletop. That portrait. I'm gonna probably use it for right now, and then I'm gonna redraw it. And this is where I wanted to draw. This staff is not gonna be like this. It's gonna be a little bit thicker. So it's very clearly a ranger. For right now, I'm gonna have a spear. So we're gonna change those later. To I want a poleaxe. Well, hopefully I want a poleaxe. We'll see what weapons I get. Being a ranger is really good because I can just use whatever weapon. We have proficiency in everything, which is pretty good. But yeah, this is the sort of character. The head is kind of, yeah, big, a little bit, isn't it? I don't know. It's a dwarf. Don't forget that. So yeah. Change the head tattoos. No, the head tattoos is a brand. I will change the head tattoos though, but it still will have a head tattoo. It's a single one though. If I zoom in, you'll be able to see. It's a single tattoo. The rest is just blood, so it gives him a little bit of a of his own thing. But I can get those out. Going around with just blood is not necessarily. It is not a glorious beard. It's not too shabby. It's not too shabby. He likes his beard though, so don't say that to him. That's another thing that I added to my character. I remember every insult I've received and nurse a silent resentment toward anyone who's ever wronged me. And I will kill you. I will kill you. That's how it... I'm sorry. I won't kill you. I will. Because I want. A dwarf, not a hobbit. Was he sick? Was he sick? He is like that. So he's basically a dwarven lord from Warhammer. I don't actually know the Dwarven Lords from Warhammer. Okay, so let's look at our likes. So here's, like, we started off immediately, my likes with orcs and half-orcs. And having a dwarf liking orcs, specifically, not just our half-orcs, but liking orcs tells something about this character. And this liking is not based on... It's not based on any... How should I put this? It's a reactionary liking. Because you see, orcs or dwarves... I can read to you the passage where orcs talk about... Or dwarves talk about orcs. Trying to find it over here. It's tricky. I'm sorry. I can't find the passage where they talk about orcs. Man, I can't find anything. There's a line here for dwarves that dwarves say about elves. This is all sort of player's handbook stuff. It's not wise to depend on the elves. No telling what an elf will do next when the hammer meets the orc's head. They're as apt to start singing as to pull out a sword. They're flighty and frivolous. Two things to be said for them, though. They don't have many smiths, but the one... Oh, that's just a part of the orc. Oh, then there's a line over here. Not as good as a dwarf, maybe, but no doubt they hate the orcs as much as we do. So this is the reaction of my character. Having a sort of innate, not innate, but it's sort of like impulse to like orcs. So it's not just all orcs, it's just sort of specifically when he sees an orc, he wants to befriend them, or he wants to see what they are up to, trying to figure out, trying to talk to them. Not that he knows what they do, and he knows how orcs feel about dwarves specifically, so he's not a fool in that regard, but he's sort of that reaction from a very racial, dependent, or sort of very racist, but a very racial dependent attitude towards another race, this is all about the dwarves. What I'm reading here is about the if you choose a dwarf. So he just sort of goes the other way around, specifically with the half-orcs as well, because the half-orcs, as far as I can tell, do suffer from discrimination in the world of Faerun. So he has a bit better luck with that. And in fact, the only person he knows so far here in Waterdeep, which is where we're going to start the campaign, is a half-orc. So that sort of allows for that. Is it the guy to shrug off pain on mental loneliness, lies, etc.? Oh yeah, he doesn't care about that. That's a very good thing to... Not having a heart is a very good way to make your character look evil. A character be like, I don't care about being alone. And that's a good way to be evil right there. Not that of course that people who like being alone are evil, but it's, you know what I mean. It's a sort of a prejudice thing, or not a stereotype thing. I did not say remove it, just change it to something more Art Deco-ish, the dwarven architecture. Yeah, I will make it, I don't know, try to make it something canonic, try to figure it out. I'll look into that in a little bit. Over at Star Art Deco Touch, they have a book called Book of Grudges. They write the names and crimes of someone who wronged them, and they keep for generations until they have revenge on the entire races and lands. That's very much my character. Which I find to be a very evil thing to do. That is evil. See, that's easy to find. It's easy to make an evil character. You just need to add a couple of things. Maybe they have slaves. Bro, there you go. Everything else can be good. They're evil already. That's how it is. He's the guy, pain threshold, I would call it not heartlessness. Oh, I see what it... No, but it is mental pain, right? It's sort of... I suppose that's also pain. You know, it's... You know what I mean. I don't know. It depends on how you want to approach... pain threshold is not a mechanic. Basically, you take damage, and that's how it is. So... Oh, this is the other thing. This is the other likes. And maybe this is where I should start with right now. This is the other likes that I wrote for my character. My character actually dwells and thrives off of how he is the embodiment of the worst thing that can happen to a dwarf. And in fact, it's here in the player's handbook as well that they talk about that. How the worst thing that can... the worst fate that can befall a dwarf has happened to him. To be clanless. He lost his name, lost his given name, and he lived his whole life away from his clan. So he likes that. Because he sees it as a symbol of independence. from a... But I can't do that because that's lawful. I'm lawful. I can't. You see that? You see? This is bad. So he has a book of grudges. Not. I will have a book of grudges. I will try to buy one in game, but we'll see what happens. He doesn't have any. He kills everybody already. He gets killed. So yeah, we're gonna need to be. That was the sort of the bit where I wanted him to be self-destructive and sort of add a little bit of that broodiness to his own character. Was this point over here. So I'm not really sure how that's gonna go. Okay. So long story short, he's kind of Kurgan of this world. I do not know Kurgan. I know Kurgan from I have thought of him though, Harry. I know Kurgan from Baldur's Gate, but in Baldur's Gate he's not very fleshed out, so I can't tell much about his character. Maybe try Zod for the talking to Devil Hunter. So let's see. Let's move on over here. So, oh yeah, this is the. I think 3 likes and 3 dislikes is a good thing. Both is stupid. It's just mentioned over there, so maybe I want to add that to the dislikes, because it's easy to have like a little thing. Dwarves apparently don't like boats much, and I lived in the mountains. I'm a mountain dwarf, so I'm good with not having boats at all. Kurgan from Highlander. Oh, I don't know actually. I don't even know what Highlander is. I think you've told me what Highlander was, and I keep forgetting. So this likes lying. My idea with having a lawful evil character that dislikes lying, is sort of to play off of one thing, which is my lack of deception, because my deception check is, I think, 1. Yeah, my charisma is not necessarily amazing. My deception check is 1. Performance is 1. Persuasion is 1. So I'm not gonna have a silver-tongued character, like right off the bat. But to make a character who dislikes lying allows me to pick fights with people who lie to me and just sort of be like very brusque with certain things. That's an easy way to get into just conflict if I want to, or just to add somebody's name to the list and be like, yeah, I'm gonna come back later and murder you maybe. So that's what I wanted, but that's also part of the lawfulness of it. And I think if I focus, and look at that, it's such a, because you can think of it as a lawful, chaotic thing, or you can think of it as a good and evil thing already. I think that works interestingly. So I think what I want to do is I want to have 3 oh no, what the heck happened? 3 opposing, what? There it is. 3 opposing likes and dislikes. So I want something that I like instead of lying. I want something that I like instead of boats. And I want something that I like instead of people who care about legacy and treasure hoarding, which is more to do with I want my character like to be an anti-dwarf in this way, not in everything, because that would be very simple and very not good and very hard to play actually, because it's many things that dwarves are that other people are as well. But sort of in the sense that dwarves are I think. Oh man, that's an interesting thing. I didn't even look at the title. There's a title over here in the player's handbook that says Gods, Gold, and Clan. And my character, at least in regards to the Golden Clan, is the opposite. He likes being clanless. And he likes that it's such a terrible thing for a dwarf. He likes that his clan thinks that they did him so wrong. So I want that. I want that angst in him. I want that sort of, haha, I got you. But also coming from a sense of self-destructiveness, of that sort of, he knows he lost something very dear to him, but he wants that. He wants that pain, that sort of stuff. And I want that, because I absolutely can't roleplay that easily enough. That sort of instinct to sort of, oh yeah, you're gonna get me clanless? Okay, well, I'll play clanless in my face. That actually would be kind of cool. Clanless. I need to figure out what the rune is for clanless in my face, and that's what I'm gonna have. Yeah, that's yeah. But now that I'm reading the thing, now the player's handbook, God's Gold and Clan, I can work off of that and just sort of invert that, because God's Gold and Clan are the basis for a dwarf, and as sort of inverting that, I have an easy way to get to make I think I can. I think I'm good. But saying he likes to be clanless means he wanted to be clanless because he was a bad dwarf. But how? The clan shapes the individual dwarf. Interesting question. I'm gonna try and make my character not be capable of answering that question. But I'm trying to think what you're actually asking. Because I want my character to be flawed, right? I mean, it's an evil character. He needs to be flawed, otherwise it doesn't work. And hopefully none of the other players are listening right now. Please go away if you're listening. Shoo. No player. GM, you can listen. The other players, no, because no. But now that the other players are gone, I don't think they're in chat. Are they in chat? They might be in chat. Hopefully not. But no, go away. I want my character to be redeemable. I want my character... I'm not going to push for that. I'm going to push the opposite way because of that self-destructiveness that works well off of that. But I want my character to allow somebody to argue with him and say, you're wrong in this. And I want him to not have an answer to that because I'm making an evil character. That's something that cannot be forgotten. I'm making an evil character. It's not somebody that I'm going to agree with by definition, but it's also that's the tricky bit, is that I don't want him to be completely the opposite of how I feel about things. So it's sort of like there's a sort of sense of self-indulgence in it, because I like certain aspects of how I feel or how I think or how I have thought, and I want just to inject them into the character and sort of run away with them a little bit. And specifically in regards to actions regarding other players, I think I'll have plenty of time to make them want to argue with me and to say that you're wrong, you shouldn't have bitten my toe off or something. But saying that he likes to be cleansed, oh yeah, so he's sort of a natural position. So he is in sort of a natural position. Interesting. What do you mean, Crisco, by natural? What game is this for? This is for Dungeons and Dragons. The Dungeons and Dragons. The Waterdeep, that's the one over here. Waterdeep Dragon Heist is the thing, and we're gonna be playing it every Saturday, hopefully every Saturday on. I will be streaming it on YouTube though, not on Twitch. So is he a heretic as well? Oh yeah, that's what I want to. That's what I want to see. I want to try and think of that. That could work. His clan was chaotic evil. Oh, that could be a thing as well. But he was lawful evil, so he wanted to leave. Oh, that I can. That fixes so much. I'd never thought of that. Well, I don't want to think of. Actually, I didn't think of that possibility. So thank you. But I don't want to like brand my clan. Maybe my character is gonna brand the clan, but not. Of course, not gonna say, oh, they were chaotic evil, because that's not an actual in-world thing. I mean, evil is a thing, but. Actually, freaking hell, it is an in-world thing. My god, Dungeons and Dragons, what are you doing? It is an in-world thing, but he's not going to think about those, and he's going to say they were jerks, or they were evil, maybe, but he's not going to say they were evil because he's evil himself, and he embraces the evil. So I want that. We'll see, but I do want his clan to sort of have a very strong tension with him, and he wants revenge, hopefully he'll want revenge, we'll see. Does he want to clear his name? No, he doesn't. He wants them to think that he didn't. No, actually, no, he doesn't. But he doesn't dwell on it. He likes that he's not part of the clan. But he will kill them if he finds them. Why brand them? He would say that what happened to him and his clan written in his books of grudges only for him to know. There's a lot of leeway there. There's a lot of things we could think up. Now, what about the gods? Dwarves, I'm going to read from the player's handbook now. Dwarves who take up the adventuring life might be motivated by a desire for treasure. This is not about the gods. What the heck? For its own sake, for a specific purpose, or even for out of an altruistic desire to help others. Other dwarves are driven by the command of or inspiration of a deity. Ah, dang it! It's other dwarves. So it doesn't work quite as well. A direct calling or simply a desire to bring glory to one of the dwarf gods. I could, however, since we're talking God's Golden Clan, except not to all those three, I could, however, make his philosophy, because we haven't decided on that yet. We haven't decided about how he sees the world, how he judges other people. Although I did write that already. There's a line over here. I place no stock in wealthy or well-mannered folk. Money and manners won't save you from a hungry bear. That's a line from the ranger background, or rather, not from the background, specifically from the... No, it is. It is from the background. Not from the ranger background, from the... Outlander background. That's the name. So that I felt that it was something that the character could go with, but that sort of attitude, that sort of philosophy that guides you as a person, he elevates that. Whatever it is, when we're going to think about it, who are the dwarf gods? Good question. I do not know, actually. They are not written in this chapter, and the handbook is 400 pages long, and I didn't get to that bit. The only thing I'm really going to worry about next, and still brushing up on, is all the combat actions and stuff. I know most of the things. Mostly what you need to know is ready and disengage, and everything else is good. And I mean, sort of comes in one thing at a time. Ready and disengage are things that you need to call yourself and say, I want to get ready, or I want to disengage. The DM is not going to tell you that. Everything else the DM can tell. As far as I have read, but I will be reading that on my own. Don't worry about it. Now, as for the philosophy, though, so I need to be very careful to not make, because I need to always think that this is an evil philosophy, and we can come up with literally any evil philosophy, but it can be so evil, like it needs to be neutral evil, as in, it can be like, everybody needs, like, the strongest survive, and theirs is the world, because that's a very chaotic, it's inherently chaotic. It's not even as evil as it's, I mean, it is evil, but more when you start thinking about it in real terms, from a neutral standpoint, you start. That's not really about evil or good. That philosophy is about chaos and law, and it is a very chaotic thing. And I'm lawful, so I don't want that. I want sort of the opposite. Can we make the opposite of the rule of the strongest? That is evil. That's gonna be very tricky. I wonder. Was he banished from Dwarf Town, city, or human one? From Dwarf Town. Was banished from his own clan. He was accused of plotting to kill his father. Who his father was, all that sort of stuff, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know that. It could be like his father was the king or something, or maybe it was his brother, or like, it depends. It depends on so many things. Because it depends on this more than anything, because I'm going to build a character off of what I'm deciding right now. All I need to know is how to swing an axe, like I want, poleaxe, like a proper dwarf. Clans and gods are weaknesses. Clans and gods are weaknesses. Ooh. Oh, I'm coming up with I can put that. There's this book that I read. The very first story. It was a weird book. It was a horror book, sort of. The very first story ends with a father turning to his son and saying, so it's a collection of short stories, and I don't remember the name of the author, but earlier in the story, the father tells his son, do you know the 3 biggest lies in the world? And the son is like, no, I don't know. Let me play whatever. Don't bother me. And the father says, it's country. No, sorry. God, country. And doesn't finish and doesn't say the last one. And later on, at the very last bit of the story, the kid asks the father, what's the other lie? What's the last lie? And he says, family. And that notion... that is very... I think that can be understood as the opposite of so many things at the same time, but I don't know if I can work that into a philosophy that I can put in my head and just roleplay with that. Attachment and all that, yeah. It's a really interesting notion, because of course, it's all social constructs. All of those are social constructs. But for a philosophy emerges when you just sort of attach to those social constructs and make it a defining aspect of your being to say that those things don't exist. No, not country, not God, not family. And so you become, just that's how a philosophy is made. It's just sort of giving priority to whatever. What was his job before banishment? He has a proficiency in something. I didn't think about that. His job before, he has a proficiency in, maybe I did, I don't know. He has a proficiency in smith's tool, so he was a smith. He knows smithing. And he does that himself. Still. I don't know how, but it's possible. 3 lies and he hates lying. Ooh, that would be... Yeah, but the problem is I can't get myself to think of that as an evil thing. I don't think that's evil to think. I don't think it's evil to think that... Oh, no, wait. Wait. The evil thing about it is to want... I forgot my own... Of course. The evil thing is not what you think. The evil thing is wanting other people to think like you do. So he wants other people to not fight for their country, to not fight for their gods, and not fight for their family. And he will go to whatever extremes to fight, to destroy those notions from people's heads. And I think that works for any villain. No, not any villain. For a lot of villains. I think that works. I think my character needs to be easily convinced by other players, because that's the problem. That's how it's tricky. This is tricky. It's a tricky alignment. Lawful evil on a team of, they're like chaotic good, chaotic neutral, lawful good, and I don't know the other alignments. But is that lawful or chaotic? That's my take on it. My take on it is that if you're trying to establish a system for everybody, so if you're trying to say that everybody should think and act one way, that is lawful. If you value personal freedom, as it were, let's just put it like that. I'm sure we all understand what I mean when I say that. If you value that personal freedom, then you're chaotic. And that's sort of the opposition there. So when I say that my character thinks of the 3 biggest lies of being country, or rather, let's put it in the order here. God's, country, and family, which is a very memorable thing to say outright, and I can argue for it. Like, I can argue for it, and that's good. And I was having trouble putting it into an evil pot, because I can argue for it, but I can argue for it, so I can make a character that works on that. But the part that makes it evil is that he wants everybody to think that way, which is obviously evil. So the way he goes about it will be lawful. So he will try to topple regimes. He will try to destroy temples, and separate children from their parents or whatever. Just anything that allows for that. And I don't know what the story is gonna be like. I don't know the story. We're blind. I'm playing absolutely blind. And still, so welcome to the stream. And so that is, I think that is really good. That is really good. I don't like the plot to kill his father. Maybe, oh, that even ties in with the plot to kill his father. Maybe a rival smithy instead. No, I mean, it could work. Well, the problem with the killing your father is that it's patricide? Patricide or fratricide? Patricide. Whatever. It's easier to justify that I was exiled because I tried to kill Like, it's not just a crime. It's not a crime like another crime. It's it's the family, whatever. Because it's so important to to dwarves. So that's why. So that's why I went for something specific. But specifically, it might even allow myself to create a backstory that will place my alleged alleged plotting to kill my father, as part of that sort of realization that it's all a big sham, it's all a big lie. So yeah, that'd be super neutral. The wait, he wanted to make great weapons, but his father designated him as a toolmaker, and he wandered the world to search for great smithing secrets so he can make his own forge, create a PMC like Outer Haven from GMs. Does he like the damn knife ears? He does. Not as much as orcs though. Orcs also have knife ears. He does. Will he boast about killing his father? He didn't kill his father. His father's alive, as far as he knows. And he might. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know the people I'm gonna deal with. So, I mean, if they were orcs or half-orcs, I probably would spill my beans. I know he didn't do it, says Jung. You know nothing, little human. I have seen 3 of your lifetimes already. Because I'm old, 250 years old. When will your campaign start? In 2 days' time. So basically starting about this time, I'm going to be streaming on YouTube. So if you go over there, you probably know me from YouTube, actually. But still, I'm going to be streaming on YouTube, and it's going to start like 1 hour before now. Maybe right about this time, tomorrow. Sorry, Saturday. So in 2 days' time. And it's going to be every Saturday. And so, yeah, let's see. Likes. Before the likes, the 3 biggest lies in the world: gods, countries, and family. That's not how family is written. That's how family is written. So that's his motto. That's his philosophy. That's his guiding principle. Good. Let's write this let's edit this down. There are 3 lies. There are only 3. How do I want to put this? Because this is always going to be here, right? And what changes is the beginning. So I could make this 3 falsehoods. As simple as this. I could make it as simple as this. 3 falsehoods. Gods, countries, or country, I suppose, because this is supposed to be about your own country and your own family. But the thing is, 3 falsehoods is sort of lame, so I want to write that a little bit more fluffy and also add a little bit more of the gravity of this, that the biggest lies in the world. The worst crimes. The worst crimes. Because it's lawful. It all ties in together. Don't want to pick a fight with me, puny dwarf, says Jung. What's a good entry point for D&D for a newbie? Well, if you want to play tabletop, I'm sorry I can't ask you. I can't answer you, I should say. I'm sorry. This is my first time playing D&D. If you can find a group that has played already, a DM specifically that has played already, then I'm sure you're gonna be fine. But watching play sessions is important, I feel, to get a grasp of what it is. I can suggest to you D&D specifically, because there's so many systems. D&D specifically, but the problem is the systems that the campaigns that I watch on Twitch and on YouTube of D&D are all modified rule sets, so it's difficult to. It's not necessarily ideal. You might have heard of Critical Role. I think it is Critical Role. That's their name, isn't it? Critical Role, but it's not Critical Role as in the role that you role is it's the role as in the role you play, and they're a group of role players, and they're phenomenal and amazing and super good. And so if you want to watch some of their sessions, then I'm sure you're gonna enjoy your time. Life's greatest deceptions. That's a good way. The greatest. Now I can yeah, the greatest deceptions. It's not life. It's the world of men. Maybe man. No, yeah. Like it's not humans. It's the world of people, right? You know what I mean? The greatest. Dang it, stupid. Oh my god, I can. There's probably a shortcut for how to paste without formatting. Guiding principle. This is the guiding principle. The great deceptions: God's country and family. That's our character right there. The problem on D&D is the game master. Finding one that starts with player is red and roleplay. My problem with D&D is always scheduling. That's, yeah, everything. It's not just a problem with D&D, though. It's a problem with just having anything with friends. Scheduling is key because its pace goes down the field. You can do one-shot. It's probably better to do one-shot sessions. It's kind of fun as well if you want to do one-shot sessions and then continue from those one-shot sessions. Like, you don't need to plan a full campaign. You can play 2 or 3 times and then start over because... just do something else. You can start midway through. You can start with midway, like, high-level characters if you want to. It just prolongs character creation a whole lot more. So, of course, if you already have your own character, you don't need to do... Like, I'm being deliberately obtuse to make a character that's weird. A character that is lawful good, that is lawful evil, that does chaotic good things. What the heck? And I'm not sure I will achieve that objective, but we'll see. How different is Pathfinder? Pathfinder is basically based on D&D 3.5, which is not too different, basically. But people who know what the heck they're talking about tell me that it is very different. So, yeah. So what do I know? I don't know what I'm talking about. My problem with the is, scheduling is the problem, man. It's like if you have a band, scheduling. If you want to go to dinner with friends, scheduling. It's everything. Okay, so we have our guiding principle, which is great. That guiding principle is amazing. Love it. Thank you very much, Elo Wedden. Thank you very much. So let's go for the likes and dislikes because we can sort of make those. So lying. What does he like? When people don't believe him. Doesn't that sound weird? I love it. Because I like when people don't believe me. I love it. Especially because I love it. It's like having a freaking sniper shot on an enemy or something. It's not like the same, but that wouldn't be... That's not what I mean. It's like when it's the same... It's the point of advantage that it gives me. Distrust. Yeah, that's sort of like... and that's part of the self-destructiveness of it all as well. And then you can tell that I have a strong streak of that as well. Does he like stairs? Stairs. He's pretty good. He's very athletic. My character is like... It's good. Good character. Very good character. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'm clicking on the wrong things all the time. Athletic check a 6. That's almost the best. You could have a... Can you have a 19? You probably can have a 19, but even then you wouldn't... Yeah, that's the best athletics check. It's the best check you can have. So athletics is really powerful. I'm not sure you can see, actually. I'm so sorry. But yeah. So I can read to you the stats here, our character. So our character is going to have light armor, and is going to have melee weapons for the moment. And he's a ranger, a revised ranger specifically. It's not the original, the 5th edition ranger, but that's fine. Doesn't matter much for right now. So he's a mountain dwarf. He's gonna have 18 strength, which gives him +4 on strength rolls. 16 dexterity, which gives him +3 on the dexterity rolls, as well as +3 on armor class, which is really nice. He's gonna have 17 on constitution, which gives him +3 on constitution rolls, as well as +3 on health, and health rolls for leveling ups. It's pretty healthy. 13 is our current health. He's gonna have -1. He's gonna have 9 intelligence, which gives him a -1 debuff on intelligence checks. And that's basically the only thing. There are very few intelligence checks, so it doesn't matter very much. And I don't believe in... I honestly don't believe that it is a good idea to roll... Like, you can play it if you want, but I don't think it is necessarily a good idea to roleplay dumb characters or smart characters based on your intelligence stat. I don't think it has anything to do with that. And it honestly sounds very... That's not how life works at all, so whatever. So he's not. He's very wise as well, which also kind of comes into. Well, I want him to be wise. I'm probably gonna sound foolish a lot of the time because it's me. It's me. -70 wisdom, Colonel RPG. But he has 14 wisdom, which gives him a +2 on wisdom checks and also a +2 on spell difficulty class saves, which don't matter too much because I'm not planning on having offensive spells. It's all going to be defensive spells or utility spells for my ranger. And 12 charisma, which gives him a +1 to charisma rolls, as well as... what else is charisma for? That's about it. I think charisma is just charisma rolls. There's a lot of these things that are just for the skill rolls. So, yeah. Is high armor class good? In this game, it is. Yes, it is. I don't like that it is. I prefer the opposite of it, because it's so much nicer. To have 0 armor class. I love it. Or -7T. Baldur's Gate equals -70 was good. Yeah. Baldur's Gate is the Dungeons & Dragons 2.0. And not just Baldur's Gate. Icewind Dale does has that as well. Planescape Torment as well. So it works the other way around. It's because of the way you roll your attack rating. In this game, it's very simple how the attack works. You do a roll. I can do a roll. Like, for example, I think I roll both things. Let's see. Imagine I go with a 2-handed spear. I have a spear. And you can use it both hands. Or just one hand. And it's fantastic weapon. It's really good. So it's a 2-handed attack. I rolled a 9. And that 9, I can show you, is... I rolled a 3, right? Yeah, I rolled really low. But basically how that works is that 9... If my enemy has 9 armor class, I hit. If my enemy has 10 armor class or higher, I miss. There's no grazes, I don't think. I'm pretty sure there's no... I need to brush up on that. There's no grazes or anything. And the damage roll is whatever comes after, minus the resistance. I think it's only resistance, but it's only... I don't think natural damage has resistances. I need to brush up on those things. But basically that's how it works. It's attack rating versus armor class. As simple as it gets. And that's why armor class... It's the versus that's nice, because it works for everything else. And some people like that. I don't like that. I need Thaco. Give me Thaco for days. Have anybody tried Pillars of Eternity Tabletop? I definitely have not. So, let's go back to our likes and dislikes, because we found the things. When people don't believe him, he likes that. He likes half-orcs and orcs. He likes being clanless. Clanless. The worst fate that can befall a dwarf. That's straightforward enough. It's important to say that last bit, though. It's not just about being clanless. I like being clanless. Don't have to give no gifts at Christmas. No, it's the fact that that dwarves are like, if he talks to another dwarf, dwarves, oh, you don't have a clan. Like, they will know that from the forehead. If they can read Dwarvish. Or Dwarven. What's the name of the... Dwarvish. Dwarvish is the name of the language. So I'll need to figure that out. So, dislikes. Lying. Liars. It's probably better. Because it allows me to lie. And just sort of like, I'm not a liar. You know what I mean? So just saying lying, it's very... It doesn't allow me as much freedom as a player, so liars is a lot better, and also it sort of puts the onus of the question in people, and just like, are you a liar? I'm gonna kill you. I don't like you. Dislikes boats. So this boats is more, I don't like that too much. I mean, the obvious, immediate paradigm here, and specifically the reason why I chose to like orcs and half-orcs, is disliking racism. But that's a very good thing. So I can't, my character's evil. I mean, I suppose I could have that. But I wonder, how can you dislike racism, but like racism? You know what I mean? Arrogant, welcome to the stream. How can my character be evil while disliking racism at the same time? Hates his race. That's still racism. He doesn't like. That's actually that. I want that to be part of his character. He's not going to judge any character based on their race, but he's going to judge them based on their actions. But that doesn't mean that he necessarily is anti-racist, as it were. Because that's, you know, just because you're not racist doesn't mean you're anti-racist. Because that's a very specific thing to be. Although I could give him that flaw. Let's see what flaws I wrote in his bio here. No, the flaws are other than the core. I remember every insult I've received, and okay, and I really can never trust anyone. Those are pretty decent flaws. I'll stick with those. I can just stick with boats, honestly. On the one hand, I could dislike racism. On the other hand, I could dislike boats. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what makes him evil. Dislikes tribalism instead. Ooh, well, yeah. Tribalism. It's a good one, Young. Tribalism is a great one. Because tribalism is a whole, is all overarching thing. It works for a lot of things. It works specifically for all of these. So it works really, really well. Right, that's great. And also being a ranger and a loner. And dislikes Baby Yoda. He's evil, but he's not that evil. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's the Mandalorian, isn't it? I've seen Baby Yoda. But tribalism is a great one. It fits well. It's fantastic. Thank you very much, Jung. I need to drink a little bit. This water has been here for a week. As long as it... I was going to say, as long as there's no dead fly in it. It tastes like there's a dead fly in it. Comrade Lennon, welcome to the stream. How's it going? We're making a character. You're probably gonna wanna, if you're gonna wanna watch and get everything. I'm gonna put this on YouTube though, so don't worry. But you're gonna want to watch it from the beginning, probably on double speed, because that's the best way to watch streams and a lot of things. If you can understand my speech, of course, because I do talk a lot very fast, so it's can be very tricky. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. People who care about legacy and treasure hoarding. Now, that has to do. When I thought of that dislike. I thought of it as a jab. I thought of it, I think, more than anything, based on this wealthy and well-mannered. I place no stock in wealthy or well-mannered folk. Money and manners won't save you from a hungry bear. I was sort of thinking of that when I made that line over there, but. I don't know. We can simplify that a lot better. Just, legacy and treasure hoarding is what he dislikes. It's not about it is the people, but he also dislikes that, right? So it works. We can simplify that, but I think it's a good fit. Tell that to the army I bought. Tell that to the army I bought with my money. I don't care about your army. I've been playing Pathfinder Kingmaker. Might end up being my second most favorite game of all time. Well, I'm glad you're really enjoying it. That thing is enormous. That game is enormous. I'm 150 episodes in, and I'm still halfway through. I'm now somebody. Oh my god! I pick on weird things. Somebody called me a real queen because my character is a woman. Somebody called me a real queen, and I picked on the word real. What do you mean a real queen? What is that? What is that? What? Uma chapada, pá. A perceber? Uma chapada nas trombas já precisava já. I can't speak Portuguese to them though. They do speak. There's multiple languages in town. I've heard Russian and other languages as well. I think German. Like when you're in town, you can hear people talking in the background. So that's that. So what the wants and the haves and the losts. So and the tries, but that's for later. That's chaotic ramble. If I can make that a custom skill. It's not a skill. It's more a passive thing. So chaotic ramble is passive. That's a passive ability. Play Realm Grinder. This thing will live past me. Oh my god. Realm Grinder. I've never heard of it. Let me search over here and I'll look it after. Free online game. Oh yeah, I bet you're gonna find a lot of that. It's basically the Fallout 4 you always wanted. Great RPG with base building, yeah, and or city management. I think the city management is pretty good. It's pretty fun. It's a little bit sparse because you just sort of spend time and just go running around. I wish it was a little bit more consistent in the sense that like it's every day or something. You need to do something about it. That would be kind of cool. And maybe a little bit faster, just not bog down the action or something. I don't know. But yeah, when I do full episodes of 40 minutes of just city building and stuff. And management and reading and whatever. So, what does my character want? That's a problem. Right there. Because my character doesn't want anything. My character, who is a lawful, evil dwarf ranger, doesn't like wanting. And doesn't like people who want. So what does he want? He's an idiot, is what he is. What the heck is he going on about? Kill his father and destroy his clan. That'd be an admission of guilt. Reveal the truth to the world. No, he doesn't like. He likes when people don't believe him. He doesn't care about that. It's a very difficult character to get once, and that's on purpose. I mean, I do want my character to go with the team, and they will need me. I mean, let's face it. I'm a ranger. If they are gonna go into the wilderness, they need a guide. They need me. So maybe I could work on that. Maybe I could want that. Yeah, we could have a want that's based on that. So sort of, I mean, this is not official. This is not. I don't need to tell anybody this, but this would be interesting. Reveal the lies of the world to the world. To overthrow. I don't know what systems exist. Just sort of throw the world order. Like being the outcast. Likes being the outcast. No, I can't have that. It's not good for the team play. It's very that's why it's difficult. Playing evil characters is difficult because you're not like unless your whole team is evil, but like if you want to be like, oh, I don't want to deal with you, it's like you're playing a cooperative game and it's tricky. So let's just write it tentatively to lead the team into the wilderness because they fools and don't know plants. That's what we have right now. That's what he wants. I could leave it like that. I don't need to show this to anybody. He hates once, but wants to kill his father and can prove to be self-centered at times. He's evil after all. Self-centered at times. I need to remember that, actually. I need to remember that. That's going to be important to be self-centered a bit. Unwavering, maybe, rather than self-centered. Unwavering. In like, not necessarily fully of yourself, but like when you make a decision, not necessarily listening to others, maybe could be a thing. Not always, like not forever, because it is really, like if I get my teammates to try, like, if they are trying to convince me of something and I'm just sending all, no, nope. It's like, that's not good. I can't do that. Want to play a Full Metal Alchemist or Kineticist on a second playthrough. Nice. Kineticist. Oh, that's the new one, isn't it? Oh, yeah, for a main character, it's probably good, because you learn... That's a weird class to learn. Have the sweet dank kush. I don't know what that means. Okay, so halves. Our lawful evil dwarf ranger, who doesn't like having things... No, it's not that he doesn't like having things. He doesn't like treasure hoarding and legacy. So what he has is what he has on his back. But what does he have? Well, he has a tattoo on his forehead that reads Outcast. I need to make sure that it is the same as my background. It doesn't matter that it's the same as my background. Outlander. Yeah, I'll just put Outcast. It's not the same as the background. There's a specific background that is for Outcast, but whatever, it doesn't matter. There is Outcast in Dwarvish. Kineticist is really weird, but waterbending is fun. Sorry for interrupting. Oh. So that's what he has. He also has a staff. A staff with a face carved on it. And that's the only possession that I have. I will ask the DM to see if I can have it, if I can make it. It's a normal staff, and it's a walking staff. It's not even a weapon. It's just a walking staff, which just works better as well, because it can make it unique. But this is the weapon. This is not the weapon. This is the inspiration for what I want to for the carving. Because this, I don't know if this is a bow or what it is, but it doesn't matter. It might not even be a staff. But it's like, you can see that there's the nose over here. Very broad nose, which is typical of dwarves as well. I think mine as well. Yeah, you can see this. So this is it felt to me like a very evil feeling staff, because all the burn and marks and sort of, not burn marks, whatever, those red things, it's like blood and whatnot. And I don't know what he means yet, but he has that staff, and I can come up with the idea on the fly. Most likely, I'll come up with it on the fly. If you have an idea for that, feel free to let me know. Let me actually put this always on top with a face carved on it, so I can write things and have the staff still on top. Sad staff. It's a sad staff. It is very sad. It is, but I'm gonna draw another one for when we draw the character. What is Dwarvish language based on in this tabletop? It's probably based on the Tolkien dwarf language, which is not a full language. Tolkien didn't write Dwarfish. There's a few words, but there's not that much. But it's based on that. It's a secret language as well, I think. It's not a secret. I mean, rather, in Tolkien it is secret. In this game it isn't. This has some heavy SCP vibes to me. Is that the Project SCP? He should have scars from blacksmithing. A tormented soul trapped in it. That's an interesting thing. I need to ask the DM about that. His face, a friend's face, memory. This could be anything. Could be a god. Could be one of those, like the god that Rin has in Tides of Numenera. She has a little house god. Could be a god. A trickster god. A liar god. He hates gods, yeah, he does. Which would work well enough. Nib is Norse outcast. Yeah, but I need it's not a Norse rune, it's a Dwarvish rune. But thank you for that. Yeah, so we'll see. What has he's lost? His given name, which is his original name. He doesn't have it anymore. Paradin is a self-given name. Or nickname or whatever. And it doesn't mean anything. It's a cool name, basically. The easy answer is I don't remember why I picked it. I don't remember why I picked it. No, I have a voice for him. I recorded it in the cell phone. It's like I pull the back of my throat a little bit up. I don't remember why I picked it. It's not very different from my own voice, but it's easy to make and easy to remember. And just go like this. It's not like this, but well. I'm still working on the voice and the accent. I'm just very bad. You had a meaning he no longer remembers. Yeah, maybe like his staff. Well, although a walking staff doesn't last 200 years, so it can't be it can't be an old staff. I mean, it could. I suppose it could. I think you have spells that can fix a staff, and it can last 200 years. So we'll see. The meaning doesn't matter. Yeah. And that's that. I think we have a character. Which means we can write this into this. A magical staff can last longer than time. It's not a magical staff, though, or not necessarily. Cause the problem is I don't know if I can have a magical staff. I need to ask the DM if he's gonna give me a magical staff. It's just like from the rules, I only get a normal staff, which is what I'm going with. The tentative goals: lead his idiot friends into the wild. That's the one. Lead his idiot friends into the wild. The meaning is long forgotten, better stay like that. Some things and meaning must be left to rest in peace, lost in the mist of the past. Even if he uses it to pick his teeth. Especially if he uses it to pick his teeth. Leading is to lead, wants to lead his idiot friends into the wild. He doesn't have friends right now, but he will, hopefully. He's fine. He doesn't shout at people. He's lawful. He's not gonna shout at people. So he's gonna be friends with everybody. He just doesn't trust them or likes them. It's fine. My character is fine. It's fine. Say our character is my character. It's not a let's play. It's a tabletop thing. It's a different thing. Okay. So, this whole thing about valuing things that have a place in the world, that doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But the order of things does matter. The order of this. There's an ideal over here. The ideals. And our current one is we're only worth the things we can carry. Everything else is up for grabs. And that is not anymore what I have. So I'm going to need to get myself into a new mindset when I think of the character. Because this is the guiding principle here. The greatest deceptions are God's country and family, rather. And that's his ideals. I think that works. Planescape vibes. From the picking his teeth, there was something, it wasn't there. There are friends that he hates. What about Havs? Burn scars from smithing, then smoking pipe instead of staff. I need to have the staff that's given to me. I can't have I can have the staff and the scars. I think it's been 200 years. I wouldn't have the scars anymore. They're long gone. Like, they're everything. I've been living in the wild. I don't like. It doesn't make much sense for a dwarf, I think. Also, it's like I'm sort of afraid even of the tattoo. It's just the whole drawing of it, really, because I want to draw it, or I want to have somebody draw it, so having it very detailed is kind of complicated. SCP Foundation, that's the one. Where people write anomalies that a fictional foundation contains and hides from the public. However, there's a quality control, so no cringy stuff. Recommend you watch I know, I've seen some stuff. That's why I thought it was that. And I mention it every once in a while in Let's Plays when there's something like very specifically like that, because I recognize the vibe that it gives you. And yeah, I know what it is. So that's the ideals right there. The greatest exceptions are gods. I keep saying God, but anyway, gods, country, and family. Personality traits, bonds. The bonds is what my goals are, I think. Let's go into character creation over here. In the player's handbook. Oh no, why'd you do this to me? There you go. Trying to read. Equipment. Character. Customization. Lovely, there's no mention of bonds. That's why this manual is weird to use. You can look up over here. Those are spells. Good. There's no reference of bonds. I need to look up on, like... Jesus. D&D 5 bonds. So I can give you examples of what it is. I would die to recover an ancient artifact of my faith that was lost long ago. I will someday get revenge on the corrupt temple hierarchy who betrayed or branded me as a heretic. These are just examples. Someone I loved died because of a mistake I made. I will become the greatest thief that ever lived. So this is just like life goals. Which Deadpool, thank you for the host, by the way. Can you choose weapons and armor in this? Yes, I chose those already. These are the weapons and armor. Oh, this is my equipment. I have a leather armor for starters. I have a spear and a hand axe. The spear is really good because it can be used in one hand or two hands, and it can also be thrown. I think. No, I can't throw it. Well, that's that. But it can be used on both hands. I think it could be thrown. I remember seeing it. Anyway, maybe it's a different type of... I don't know. And I have a longbow as well with 20 arrows. And that's the equipment. And then I have other things like life goals, destroy civilization. That sounds actually, honestly, that is basically what he would like. Camel, welcome to, no, call me Killzone. Welcome to the stream. And I'm happy to see things like this on here. Yes, I'm very glad to start doing this. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna do it every Saturday. I'm gonna be streaming on YouTube though, but yeah, we're gonna be doing. And also, we're gonna putting the videos up on YouTube. Thank you for the follow, by the way. So I will destroy civilization. Let's see if there is. Where the heck did I see that? Oh, there it is. It's a PDF over at WeirdZine.com. Let's see what mentions of destroy. Seek the sacred texts. No, I don't need that. I will get revenge on the evil forces that destroyed. No. My place of business. My god, that's weird. My isolation gave me great insight into great evil that only I can destroy. That's a good start. That whole great evil that doesn't convince me too much because I'm lawful evil, but it's a good one. 42. The meaning of life. Look at that. What is the other one? I will bring tribal wrath down on evildoers who destroyed my homeland, which is sort of where I based my current bond in. So let's see. Civilization. World. I'm making the world better for them. Somewhere. Okay. The workshop where I learned to trade is the most important place to me in the world. That's interesting. It's a different take. Just sort of, but your bond. It's a place where I like to be. Should my discovery come to light, I could bring ruin to the world. An interesting one. The ruin there is interesting, though. Let's see. You guys are talking, and I'm on the other screen. He was a huge fan of Killzone. I remember Killzone, the first one. No, the second one coming out for PlayStation 3. It was like very hyped. I think it was Killzone 2. Very hyped for the new graphics and whatnot. I never played it. I never had a PlayStation 3. Someday I might have all the consoles. Who knows? If I gain a lot of money. Although time was it's probably the biggest deterrent there. So I like the 42. My isolation gave me great insight into... it's weird because it's evil, so I'm gonna need to rewrite it. But we can get that wisdom from the isolation. So my isolation gave me great insight into... Normally I would name it the evil of the world. But the lies people tell themselves is an easy way to rewrite that into how everyone is living a lie. And I must stop that. I must change that. That ties with the ideals. I think it works really well. Let's also change the ideals here. No, that's the bonds. Yeah, okay. I was gonna add a little bit of the ideals to the ideals to show how I'm evil in trying to stop people from worshiping gods, from fighting for a country or for their family. From a very individualistic standpoint, I think it's going to be easier for me to argue that. I think so. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the PDF here. I'm not even looking at the things. For Deceptions of the World. Played it. The worst was the jungle level, facing 2 cyborg demons for the first time. 7-year-old me was sluggish. That's playing as a kid. There's a lot of games that I had trouble with as a kid, and now I go there and that's easy. And other games that were the opposite, like StarCraft. My God. Right. There's 2 things here that are missing. This one, I remember every insult I have received and nurse a silent resentment toward anyone who's wronged me. So this is going to be literal. I'm going to have a list myself. My character, I want him to have a list as well and write it down there. The names of people and what they did so that I can get revenge. And I'm going to ask the DM how I'm going to be able to do that. If we're going to need to go on missions to do that or if I can just leave it for later. But they will get their comeuppance if they even so much as are sarcastic towards me. I can't have that. I can't have my character be as picky about sarcasm as I am. Okay, my character doesn't hate sarcasm, but if they call me names, actually, if they call me names, I like that. Dang it. If they that's actually a good point. I can't have this. Struggled with BioShock when I was younger. Same one with Gears. Gears 1 had some troubling parts. Difficult parts. I remember every slight instead of insult. Slight I've received, and as a silent resentment towards anyone who's wronged me. And I can't ever really trust anyone. And those are good. Those are good, I think. Now, the personality traits here is a little bit difficult, though. So, what I'm going to do... This is a cool track. I think it's the last boss. Personality. Let's see what examples we have. Of personality. I really wanted to draw today. Let's see examples. I idolize a particular hero of my faith and constantly refer to that person's deeds and example. That's very personality driven. I can find common ground between the fiercest enemies, empathizing with them, and always working towards peace. That's sort of more of an ideal situation. It's very, what I'm trying to figure out is if it's very shaky or not. Trust actions rather than words. Not even that. I don't trust anything, basically. So basically a saint of that religion. Yeah, idolizing somebody. Nothing can shake my optimistic attitude. That's not for me, mind you. I'm just sort of trying to get the gist. Sarcasm and insults are my weapons of choice. Is one personality trait that sort of works, and I think I can. Yeah, I think the personality traits are a little bit more malleable, and they're indeed more. They're just about. They're probably more for me to help out. To help. They're probably more for me to help myself get into character. I don't pay attention to the risks of in a situation. Never tell me the odds. So there's a lot of traits. You can look them up, actually, if you just look up D&D 5 personality traits. There's a PDF, like... there's one here that says, I speak slowly when talking to idiots with almost everyone except... which almost everyone is compared to me. That's... I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. It's like very slowly, so you talk very slowly. So, yeah. Never pass up on a friendly wager. So there are sort of a mixture of principles as well as character traits more than anything else. So I can do away with these and write the new ones in. Trust actions rather than words. So basically a saint of that really atheist he is. An atheist. Yeah, my character would be atheist, which means I am condemned to the wall of suffering. There's a whole thing with atheist gods. Atheist people. Ever see some of the homebrew ideals, bonds, flaws? I'm basically... I have not, actually. Gallico, welcome to the stream, by the way. And thank you for the follow, Call Me Killzone, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't call you out. But thank you for the follow. Can you keep secrets? Yes, I am going to keep a lot of secrets. Especially the secrets that I haven't told you yet, because I haven't made them up yet. I'm going to have a lot of secrets, and I'm not going to say anything. And I'm just going to write them down, and they're going to be like... and stuff like that. There's an idea, or have a grand wall with people nailed to it, crucifixion style. That's the wall of people who are atheists. That's what happens in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. What happens? No, you. No, I can't have that. That's not very. It's not very lawful. It's not very. It doesn't fit into my world of my view of the world. I wouldn't make him an atheist more like he dislikes or doesn't care about gods. No, he really dislikes the people who like the gods. The gods he doesn't care. He doesn't really say... Actually, he's not an atheist. Well, yeah, he's necessarily an agnostic. Because he doesn't care about which gods it is. He just doesn't like people who like the gods. Because the gods screw them. That's the idea. At least. So he's not an atheist in the sense that he doesn't disbelieve the gods because they exist, and he knows because he saw the things that are not very... It's not very compelling evidence, mind you, most of the time, but, it's things, and he says, okay, sure, there's gods somewhere. It's all in other planes, it's complicated. But, yeah. Like Geralt? I don't know about Geralt. I don't think there are gods in The Witcher. No, Geralt is neutral. Yeah, I don't think there are gods in The Witcher. I'm pretty sure there are not. Are there? There's evil spirits. But anyway, we're gonna write the likes and dislikes because it's perfect for it's perfect for It's perfect for our personality traits. I'm gonna write it into words, though. I like it when people don't believe me. Let me see. It might not be the same order. I like it when people don't believe me. I know better. The orcs and half-orcs doesn't need to be there because it's not that. Being cleansed, the worst fate. I know better. I don't need anybody's approval. I hate liars. Let's just put it like this. I hate liars. Orders. Or stupid. Maybe stupid is not going to be the word we're going to see. Attachments to insignificant, to illusions. To the illusions of, no. Self-made illusions, to self-made illusions. So they observe, like Dr. Manhattan, there is in The Witcher, technically speaking, but it's not D&D style where the gods can influence. Oh, I see. Okay, so the likes and dislikes actually don't give me much to go on in terms of personality traits. There are a couple of things that I can work on, but I need to add something. I need to add at least something to give context to this. To just sort of like, you know, brooding. I'm not necessarily brooding, but sort of I could be like stuff like that. But yeah. So I'm trying to think here because this is important. It's gonna define the character more than anything. More than anything we said right now. This is gonna define the character. Stuff, you know, the stuff that I write down. I like it when people don't believe me. I know better. I don't need anybody's approval. I hate liar. Okay, so this works with the likes and dislikes. It's easy. It's straightforward. It works very well. Like simple. So it's like a one like and one dislike, and everything else is something for me to keep in the back of my mind. There's sort of, excuse the burp. It's sort of an explanation for what I'm going with. Hey Laggy, welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you as well. Welcome on in, and good morning. How's it going? Saturday morning. You work on Saturdays? No, it's not Saturday. Oh, I wish it was Saturday. I wish it was Saturday. It's not. So yeah, so I think I'm just gonna add the basic personality trait up here that sort of allows me to have a base point for my character. Rough. Rough is I want my character to be rough. How intelligent is he? He's pretty intelligent. Like in the normal, not in the stat, because the stat is mostly about history, arcana, and religion. No, it all worked out. And nature as well. He doesn't like nature. And medicine. No, medicine is wisdom. And nature. Nature here is basically knowledge of herbs and stuff. It doesn't make sense that he wouldn't be good at it, but I didn't have any more skills. I kind of wanted more, but I guess I don't have them. But he's got 14 wisdom, so that's where his intelligence comes from. A man of common sense. Ooh, no common sense in this man. There's no common sense. He's opposite. He's the opposite of the common sense. He hates the common sense with a passion. He'll murder you if you say that word. No, in the sense that what common sense actually means. Wisdom is not actually common sense. Wisdom is sort of accumulated knowledge and sort of capability of like I can show you the skill, so you give you a little bit of a better understanding of what the skills of the stat is supposed to be. Animal handling is dependent on wisdom. Insight is dependent on wisdom. Insight is basically you're trying to deduce things. That's wisdom. Medicine is dependent on wisdom, which is basically trying to, you know, it's oh, you got a broken bone or something. Perception is wisdom. Perception is a little bit like insight, but where insight is trying to deduce things, perception is actually just seeing things, recognizing things in the environment. And it's really interesting that it's based on wisdom, because it does make sense when you realize how seeing works. Because it's not about how well you see things. It's not the traditional Fallout style, I see very well. No, it's you being capable of recognizing patterns, which is more dependent on wisdom than anything else, or experience, rather. And the other one is survival. Survival is also wisdom, and he's very good at it. Well, he's not very good at it, but he's good at it. Experience gained through lifespan is a little bit like that, yeah. You can be wise and young, though. Yeah, it depends. It depends on how you want to play the character, but I do want to make him a worldly fellow in the sense, well, not worldly, I suppose, but sort of he's a master of the wilds. So that's his character. How the character looks like when he plays the game? Are you going to make the 3D? No, it's going to be 2D. It's going to be using Roll20. It looks really good. The packs and everything, they look really nice. I've seen some maps and whatnot. It looks really good. But it's going to be tabletop online, so you know what it is. We're not going to have our faces on, though. I don't think we are. Well, I'll have to look into that. But, yeah, we'll see about that. Our faces can show up down here, down below. You can't see that. Oh, you can't see my mouse over here. Right there. They can show up over here more. We'll see. We'll see how things work. So, my character is rough. Uncompromising. That's very important. Otherwise, like, that's sort of the fundamental aspect of his evil, is that he's uncompromising. But that's not the word that I want to use, because it's not really a part of his personality. The word that I want to use is that he's it's not necessarily manipulative. It is those who possess wisdom who are the greatest fools. Which game has the best writing for you? Asks Crisco. The best writing? Probably Tides of Numenera. Tides of Numenera. There's a lot of games with very good writing, but if I had to pick one, Tides of Numenera is the one that I would pick. Torment, Tides of Numenera. Tides of Numenera. Is this a game the same as the board game or different? It is the same as the board game, yeah. There's gonna be videos on YouTube, so I'll upload them there. I'll stream on YouTube, but I'll also upload the videos there. So rough, uncompromising. So what I want to make my character here, when I say uncompromising, is I want to make my character not. I was gonna say I don't want my character to care what other people think of him, but that's not it. He likes it when other people think bad of him, or don't believe him, or mistrust him. But it's not because he doesn't care, because that's sort of part of, he cares that people don't like it. It's just sort of, I don't want to make him like that. I want him, of course, give the lazy a task and he'll find the easiest way to accomplish it. No, it doesn't always work like that. It doesn't always work like that. It takes a lot of skill to find the easiest way to accomplish a thing. So what I want my character to be is straightforward, but like, how do I put that into a way that, like, I don't want him to come off as manipulative. And it's not that he's not manipulative, but like, because he's never gonna show his cards. He's not gonna be like, I don't trust you, shut up. He's gonna be like, I want to be friends with you, but he's never really gonna trust them. You know what I mean? So how do I put that into a word? What would be a character, or what would be? You know what I mean? It's an interesting. It's like the opposite of callous. Let's see. Antonyms. Antonyms. Is there? There is a dictionary online. Good. Callous. What is the opposite opposite of callous? Doesn't work. That's how my browser works. Don't worry about it. No, you're not gonna get that. You're gonna get these. No cookies for you. Shut up. Callous. Still doesn't work. Is he an opportunist? Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's not really part of his, of a personality, you know what I mean? That is gonna be something. My god, this side. I will kill you. Can I kill you? Jesus. Nope. How did I know? Side doesn't work. Oh my god. Oh wait. Thesaurus has no. Thesaurus only has synonyms. No, but that doesn't matter. Callus. I think there is a line over here. Ah, there it is. We got it. I got a thing. Thoughtful. Yeah, callous might not be exactly what I want, but I'm looking at a list right now, so it works a little bit better. What does hit dice mean? Number of attacks? Hit? I don't actually know. There is probably a thing online. D&D5 hit dice. I believe it's the number of hit points. Yeah, I think it's your hit points, because you roll 1 hit point dice or die every turn, and I think that's where it comes from. But I think it's abstract. It's sort of a weird thing. 3 word comes to mind: consistent, dependable, and reputable, which are not good things for my character. He's not that. A wise fellow with a short temper. He's not gonna be mad at people. I mean, he's gonna be mad at people, but he doesn't need to show his emotions. So callous would be an emotionless, or the opposite of callous would be no, somebody. Oh, a callous person is uncaring and is interesting. Oh, disinterested. Okay, so let's see. Callous, draggy, emotionless, impassive, insensible. Languid, moony, passive, unconcerned, unemotional, unfeeling. I thought there was a section over here that gave me the opposites. It does. Soft and sensitive. Let's go with sensitive and see what I can do here, if I can find something that is a synonym. Because it's not necessarily sensitive, but it is close enough that I can find something. Apathetic might be what you're looking for. A little bit of that. There's a little bit of that. It's just I'm just sprouting random words at this point. Apathetic, indifferent. Nah, don't worry about it. You can sprout them. So let's see. Conscious, hypersensitive, keen, nervous, perceptive, precise, receptive, responsive, tricky, acute, feeling. Oh yeah. Okay. Precarious. Oversensitive, irritable, impressible. Impressible? What the heck does impressible mean? Impressible. Means impressionable. It's a different way of saying it. Demonstrative, emotional, fervent, fervid, hot-blooded, impassioned, passionate, rough and passionate. That sounds like a vehement. Vehement is a cool thing. But I think passionate is just a lot easier for people to understand. I think passionate is a good one. Heartless, unfeeling, uncaring, cold-hearted, as hard as nails. My god, you posted everything. I think passionate is good. Rough, passionate. And it's really weird for a character like this, isn't it? He's passionate about a thing, about his ideals. So I suppose that works. And he's too passionate, and he's going to murder people. So it's bad. It's bad passion. And then, oof. Passionate. See what I can do. Ardent, loving, romantic, aroused. What? What the freaking hell does that sound like? I think I can hear that. Not with this. With this?
Concupiscent.
Do you know what that word is?
Concupiscent.
That's Satan. That's what that is. I can't pronounce it. Wanton. Wanton is a rough, passionate, and so rule of threes. We can go with the rule of threes. Passionate strikes me as horny. There's a lot of things that do, to be honest. It is. But I mean, sure. He likes orcs and half-orcs after all, so we can add that to his character. It's good. Do orcs have tails? That way it would be really easy for me to roleplay. Because they have pointy ears and fangs already. So, I want a third one. So what, I'm thinking of the character. And dark. Like, he's dark. He's not necessarily, he's not like, the rough is part of it, I suppose. The rough is part of that darkness already. It's just sort of that, because I keep going back to the word broodiness and just brooding. But he's not necessarily brooding. It's just sort of resolute and sort of self-assured in the sense that, like, he doesn't need your approval. And yeah. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain... That's the Jedi, aren't they? That'd be my D&D. I just noticed Colonel have an emoticon. I do. Crude and rough. That's good. Yeah. Crude might... Oh, but then but if I put crude is good. But also, welcome to the stream, Emroy. But the problem with crude is that it might force me... If I'm going to define my character as that, it's going to force me into just making him brash. And just making him sort of rude. And I don't want that. Because I think, like, that's showy. That's that's meant to be showy. And first off, I don't know how to play that way. Because I'm not good enough. So it's a limitation of my own character and of my own self. But the other problem is that that also is not gonna necessarily fly well with my companions. So I can't be super bad. That's been the biggest Cruise to Stone Age. That's been the biggest challenge for me, is just make a lawful evil character that fits with a team. That ideal's there. I hope the DM doesn't say you're chaotic, because I'm gonna need to tell him that I'm lawful because I want everybody to stop with this nonsense. So if the DM says I'm chaotic evil, then my God, where is this character going? Because there's a very tenuous point why my character is lawful, but also there's the play style that I'm not gonna murder people, so I'm not chaotic. I'm immediately not chaotic. And Sinok, thank you so much for subscribing for 11 months. Once again, thank you very much. You're very generous. And 11 is a prime indeed. It is the first double-digit prime. A fun question about primes: is 2 a prime? There's a right answer to that question, I am told, and it is a tricky answer. But I mean, there's also another answer that can be accepted if you say yes or no. But there's another answer besides the yes or no, and I don't remember. Yes, says Sinok. That is false. Prime is not a 2 is not a prime, I think. Is it number 1? Am I mistaken on that? It's easy to do. Number file, come here. Number file is 2 a prime. That's what I'm talking. Squaring primes between prime conjecture, wide primes, proof the 3. Is it 3? Is it 1 a prime? Is it 1 a prime? Is it 1? It's 1. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. Thank you. Sinok knows better than I am. Than I do, of course. Maths major. It's 1. I meant 1. I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. Yeah, there's a video by number file that has when it's not considered a prime, but there's a reason why that it is. It's like it is technically a prime. It's like they have a name for it as well. I don't know the names. What is the meaning of life? 42. That one is easy. Prime is any number that can be that can add, subtract 2, and 1 is odd number. Because it doesn't have 2 divisions. Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, but like you need to create a specific definition. I remember watching the video and I was like, wow, these guys are so smart. Number file is always a fun time. Okay, so let's just go for the last adjective. For our character. Our character that I can show you right now. I can show you my mock-up of Peridin. That rough-looking fella over there. And he talks rough. We are merely a wrinkle in time. If only we were such grandiose things as a wrinkle in time. A prime is a number who only has one end itself. The end being the definition there. Because if you can, it needs to be end itself. And 1 doesn't have end itself. It has 1. Just itself. Good. But yeah, it was something like that. Rough, passionate, and blunt. Blunt's a little bit like rough, though. So we can change rough. Structured, set in his ways, not inflex. Structured, set in his ways, but not inflexible. Yeah, this is sort of self-assured that I was, but not this is sort of self-assured that I was thinking of. But I think that's like anybody's sort of like that, really. If you're gonna make a character that's not like that, you're gonna say specifically my character's flighty and chaotic. Most people are like that, so it's not like a unique thing. That rough is gonna change though, because I want to make it specifically different. Forthright is blunt. Forthright is a lovely word, and it actually defines more of what I'm saying. Forthright is awesome. I love it. Thank you, Jung. Forthright. Rough, passionate, and forthright. I'm rough, passionate, and forthright. I like it when people don't believe me. I know better. I don't need anybody's approval. I hate liars, hoarders, stupid attachments to self-made illusions. And that's our character. I didn't signify how small the crease is in the vastness of eternity. That's true. That's true. So we made our character. We made our character, and we didn't get around to painting it because I ramble. I should have known. I'm gonna make an avatar. Avatar? Yeah. The original painting is this one, and as I said, it's from Metal Gun games. And it's an interesting thing, but it's not gonna be like that. And if I drew it myself, I would bring the face up a little bit, because this is a different posture. It works well enough for the mock-up, and definitely works for my thing. All I need to do is just bring the ear down a little bit, and that changes the facing and the way the beard works. But yeah. He doesn't have an axe. He doesn't have that armor. And that's why I wanted to draw all the things. James Blunt is blunt. I don't know. I don't know who James Blunt is even. Let alone if he's blunt or not. By the way, instead of blunt, can you use the word mealy-mouthed? Wow. What is that word? I have heard this word. Mealy-mouthed. It's the opposite of not plain or straightforward. And so it would invalidate forthright. Artificial, backhanded, counterfeit. I think that's a different thing, though. I think that's a different meaning. Mealy-mouthed is a pejorative. BB Shade, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Welcome on in. You came right at the end, though. But because I'm gonna have to go edit tomorrow's Vampire Bloodlines video. But I made my character. Peridin, the dwarf ranger whose lawful evil, the greatest deceptions are God's country, and family. When people don't believe me, I love it. I do enjoy that, actually. It's good to distance myself from fools like they are. The idiots. They think... Oh, speaking of idiots, I never really changed the stupid here. Because the stupid is very generous. Generous? Generalistic. And as well as just being specifically related to one's intelligence, which is not what it is about. It is about delusional. Being delusional. That's our character. That's my character. I keep saying our character. I'm used to playing Let's Plays. Just got home from work. I will be uploading this video to YouTube, and as well as the whole playthrough of tabletop that we're gonna do, because we're gonna start streaming it probably about 2.5 hours before now. In 2 days time, we're gonna do it every Saturday. So 2 days time is Saturday, depending on your time zone. It might be Friday today, so 2 days time would be Sunday. So for you it might be Sunday, but it depends on the time zone. The thing is, for me, it's Saturday night, and I'm at GMT right now. The new Age of Enlightenment this stream was. Oh, I don't know. I finished Vampire Bloodlines on the streams. Oh, that was great. Did you like it? Did you finish it? Had you finished it already? That's a really fun game. I hope you got not the ending I got the last time I finished it, because I got it on purpose, but it's an ending. It's an ending. It can leave you upset. Would Sanctimonious fit his character? Sanctimonious, lovely name, but I don't think so. That sounds like that is the word for self-righteous, I would think, or just sort of what I am. That's not. I'm not hypocritically pious or devout. Would you? What the heck does that even mean? How are you hypocritically pious and devout? It's like you would be the opposite. I don't actually know what sanctimonious means. Look at that. No, I'm not sanctimonious. I correct people. I judge. I don't judge people, but I correct them, and that's bad. That's really bad. It's really bad, and it's my dad's fault because he does that a lot worse than I do. But he's a jerk, and so am I. So there you go. Hungarian time. So yeah, for you it would be. Oh, for you it's 1:30 right now. Oh yeah, so it starts right at midnight. Probably right at midnight, or maybe 1 hour before of Saturday night. And I'm gonna be streaming on YouTube. And it's gonna be this thing. Waterdeep Dragon Heist. My character is Paladin, a lawful evil dwarf ranger who's rough, passionate, and forthright. He's weird. He's really weird, and it's the greatest challenge I can muster for the lawful and the whole alignment system. He's gonna be yeah. Hopefully he's not gonna be very bad for the team. We never really did write the character backstory. Character appearance, it's fine. I'm gonna write those later. Those are easy. These are hard. Thank you very much for the help. That really, really helped. Paladin, the covered paladin. I don't know. The paladin does need. They don't need the gods anymore. I don't think. It's a little bit like that. Yeah. It's a little bit like paladin-y, isn't he? It's just a different class. Yeah. It wouldn't be a bit. Yeah. But don't forget, he's evil. So he's gonna do evil things. I'm gonna be role-playing an evil character. I think it's gonna be fun. A team needs an evil character. And Dark God of the welcome to the stream. A year's worth of subscriptions. Thank you so much. I'm sorry you arrived just now because I'm just saying goodbye. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube though. But dogmatic. I think it's the opposite of that. 'Cause, like, dogmatic in a way for sure. But like But his philosophy is so much against the dogmas, against the against God's country and family. So his philosophy is so much against that he saying that he's dogmatic, it sort of misses a large part of his philosophy. He is definitely set in his ways, but like, Colonel RPG being evil, I can't imagine it. Oh yeah. Thank you very much, Dark God. Very, very glad to have you, and you're very generous. Thank you. I hope you had good holidays. All of you, in fact, all of you. And of course, a little emoticon there. So yeah, it's gonna be fun playing an evil character because a team needs that sort of tension. That sort of like it's good. It's good if I'm gonna be like, we should murder them, and they say no, or we shouldn't murder them, and they say yes, because it depends on what we're doing. And I basically have it's complete freedom to say whatever I like, because my character is so weird, it's so all over the place, that I can basically fit any choice into my worldview. And without being chaotic neutral, which is lovely. Colonel RPG is save scum. You can't save scum in tabletop. Oh no. Colonel is chaotic neutral. If I've ever learned anything from his Let's Plays. My alignment? No, I don't think I'm chaotic neutral. I'm probably neutral good or lawful good, in the sense of like empathy over selfishness for good and evil, and in the sense that systems over individual freedom for lawful and chaotic. So I would never be chaotic. I'm not one for individual freedoms as over systems, in the sense that like I wish the world was a good thing, basically. So, or like, the thing that I think is good, because that's the point. That's what makes it lawful. It's the thing that I think is good. So I wish the world was in a way, but, you know, so there's a streak of lawfulness in me, but not in the traditional sense. Like, yeah. It depends on what we're talking, absolutely. Like, if you say, I can, like, it absolutely depends on what we're talking. Like, if you... It depends. It depends a lot. It was a joy conversing with an enlightened society. I thank you for the subscription, and thank you for the contributions as well, because you absolutely contributed. My very first DM once told me that in real life I was neutrally neutral, trending towards neutral for real. That can be a very evil thing to be. That can be a very good thing to be, depending on your perspective. I think the DM is telling more about the DM than about you. I'm gonna go off, yeah, because I need to edit tomorrow's Bloodlines video. I need to go to sleep as well. I need to... everything is uploaded already, but I need to set up all the videos. So, yeah, I'm sorry. But, I will be putting this... And this is a weird stream as well, because it's all... Like, I had this whole thing starting from the beginning. So if you watch this on YouTube, watch it on double speed, because it's better. If you can understand me, just put it on double speed, and it goes by in a jiffy. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on YouTube as episode 0, as sort of, and it is very early for you, I know. So, thank you so much once again. I had a blast, and I'm sorry I didn't get to write and to draw, because I was gonna mostly paint, not really draw, because drawing takes a long time. The being detailed and all that, painting is a lot easier, just splurge, it's fine, it's easy. But yeah, maybe I'll get an artist to paint my character. Not this short notice, but I'm gonna make do for the first session. And I know exactly who to ask for my character. Yeah, for right now, have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in 2 days' time, right around this hour, over at YouTube, for some Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Bye.